In this episode, we finally figure out what to do with the fence surrounding the radio tower. Then we get started on the adjoining building and its offset roof, so stick around. Alright, welcome back to part 2 of my Appalachia radio build. So today, I wanted to kind of do a little bit more work on the fence, and I think I have an idea that'll allow me to use the communist fences with the barbed wire on the top. So I'm going to try something there, and then maybe today we'll get started on the actual building itself as well. So I guess without further ado, let's get started. So my idea for the fence is to let's see. So I'm going to put the fence again on a spike board trap. This time I'm actually going to use a conduit as well to set the actual the brick pillar on. And then I'm going to do that because I want to be able to put the trap inside here, so it doesn't conflict too much with the fence. So I'll see if that actually works, and we'll go from there. Okay. All right, so yeah, this first trick I'm going to try to do is just putting the stone pillar on top of the conduit and then putting that on the spike trap and then merging it down. It gave me sort of what I was looking for. Like, I wanted the spike trap kind of out of the way and invisible, but ultimately it really wasn't working the way I kind of hoped, so I kind of moved on to a different idea. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, shit. Alright, so I'm going with the same idea here, but instead of using the conduit, I'm just putting the brick wall just right on top of the spike trap. And then theoretically I would just trigger the spike trap and then place the communist fence down. Alright, so to get the full wall going, I just need to do the exact same thing with the other piece of wall. It's a little bit trickier because I have to line it up while the other wall is invisible. So, and I gotta compete with the really stubborn log at the end as well, which it doesn't like things clipping through it. And so I think that's been kind of the bane in my existence throughout this whole process with this wall, is just dealing with that kind of log. But yeah, let's see how it comes together. All right, that's not too bad, if I do say. I desperately tried making it fit around the corner too, but it wasn't in the cards. So let's add some brambles. That looks good, but I don't know. I'm not like 100% convinced. It's a little lopsided, but so it was at this point I decided to kind of turn my attention to the other side of the fence, and lo and behold, I was actually able to snap a brick fence to the one I had put together last episode. So that was actually a fun and interesting discovery. And because I'm a masochist, what I decided to do is see if I could do the same thing on the other side I was just working on, and yeah, I can. So I gutted essentially everything I had just done and rebuilt it using kind of this new idea. And sometimes that's what you got to do because, I don't know, it wasn't feeling right to me, and this for some reason just felt a little bit better. So that's kind of what I decided to go with. So by this point I was starting to get really fenced out. So I started working on the actual building. And what I decided to do was use kind of the positioning of the brick fence that I put together earlier and kind of line up the building with that, so it all kind of like seamlessly flows together. And I think it worked out really well. Really happy with the layout. I added some stairs and changed all the foundations to concrete. I added 2 at the end as well, so there's a total of 5 foundations. A 2x2 set and 1 extra that I'm probably going to turn into like a little patio or something. We'll see. And then what I ended up doing too is I added the brick fences all around the outside of the building too, which I probably won't keep, but I was feeling a little frisky, so I decided to do that. I wanted to jazz up the brick fences in the front, so I'm going to be using junk walls, the 2 different variants. What I decided to do was I just deleted the walls because they can snap back, but all you need to do in order for them to snap back is use the fire truck to destroy the junk fence. So it's actually pretty easy. And kind of the lore behind this is, Julie found this place in disrepair, and the thinking is she kind of came in and shored up the fence using junk she had around, she'd found around or whatever. I don't know. All right, I kind of like that. So this looks a lot better than what I was kind of trying to do previously anyway. There's a little bit of clipping, but I think that's fine. I think. Ultimately, I can jazz that up a little bit probably, put some stuff in there. See if, you probably knew it before I pulled it up, but yeah, I'm adding brambles here. They're my bestie. They're my best friend. So they are great to use in spots where you just want to fill in space. They're surprisingly slim. They can kind of fit into tight spaces, but sometimes if you need some extra room, you can just burn whatever's around it and then place the bramble and it should be fine. I think that's what I ended up doing here. Now onto the walls. So like I said before, I started using the pit set, and while I did like it, I think it actually matches the K-Max transmission station layout the best, or like that look the best. I think later on I switched back to the standard brick set, but I think I actually might switch back because I don't know, like the pit set is good, but the variants are too rusty. It's not quite the right look I'm going for here, but the bare bones set I think should work fairly well, so we'll see. Alright, I'm starting to like how this is coming together. Let's see. Now with the roofs, I need to offset the roofs just a tad, so they have a little bit of an overhang and they're going to be flat. So yeah, let me do that now. Alright, I'm going to let this roof portion just run in its entirety the rest of the way, because I really want you to see what I'm doing. Basically, I need to offset the foundations 1/4 up and 1/4 back so that I can get the roof to overhang 1/4 back and 1/4 front, right? So that's essentially what I'm figuring out in my head and trying to figure out in the layout too, because I can't I tried snapping some foundations where I typically would want them, but it wasn't working because of stuff in the way. But you'll see what I mean kind of once I start getting there. If you don't have catwalks, you can use stairs. All you need to do is snap a stair to a foundation, then snap a quarter foundation piece to that, snap another stair on the other side of that, and then another foundation, and then you can use that to snap all your foundations to. It's easy, but you need a lot more room for it, I should say. I'm using the US Army roof set that we got from last season. It looks really kind of decrepit, but it's also nice and thick, and it's got pretty good weight to it. In order to get the look I want, I need to place multiple roofs on top of each other. So what I'm doing is I'm changing them all to the slanty roof, and I'm going to burn them all. And that'll allow me to kind of place the other roofs so that I get the proper length of overhang that I want across the entire building. You can put your flamethrower up on a bunch of stash boxes, or, in my case, I'm just adding more roof and just sliding it across, so you can do it however you want. Here I'm just kind of calculating in my head how much further I need to move the foundation for the other set of roofs that I want to add in that overlap this one. This is something you'll get used to once you kind of start doing this more. It'll be kind of second nature to do this, but for me, for some reason, I don't offset my roofs a lot, and so I had a lot of brain farts in this area. That's not quite what I want. The roof is lined up exactly at the wall, so I'm going to go back and kind of rethink that, and I think I'll end up doing a half catwalk positioning so that I can get the look I want. My build order is kind of limiting me a little bit because I probably should have done this at the start, and moving all my foundations around without very much room is not a very good idea. So, if you're doing something like this, I would recommend, if you're trying to do like offset roofs and stuff, probably do those first and then do all your other stuff so that you have a lot of room to kind of maneuver and play around with ideas. All right, pretty sure I got the right alignment there. So from here on, it should be smooth sailing. I'll probably just place all these roofs and repair all the ones that I've burnt, and I think we should be good to go. So what I'm doing here is I'm just burning all the roofs that I placed so that I can remove some of the ones that I don't need. And then I will repair them all and swap them out. When you put roofs on top of each other, you might see a little bit of flickering, but the good thing is for this set, it's not that visible, so it's actually good in that sense. Last thing to do is just add all the walls back and see how it all looks. Okay, so I think that's going to be good for this episode. So we did a lot, actually, or I guess I made a couple of important decisions that allowed me to kind of move on. So I played around with this fence quite a bit, as you probably saw, and I tried to get the communist fences to work, but it just didn't quite look exactly like I wanted. So I called an audible, and I didn't even realize that this stone fence would snap into this one. So that was actually really nice. So this is all like sectioned off now, which is fantastic. So that allowed me to kind of set this up as a kind of a junk wall to some extent. So I burned those and replaced the communist fences with those junk walls. I think it looks pretty good. I wish I could do more, but I don't think they would fit over here. And we don't really have half-size junk walls, but I could probably shore it up a little bit with some other fences. So we'll see. Maybe I could add in, let me see if it'll, I can't imagine it will, but let's see. No, it's not going to. I could, you're way in there. Whatever. But you get the idea. And then this one also allowed me to snap over here, which is great. Also a very fortuitous thing. So this whole thing's kind of like walled off, which is great. It's kind of similar to the other one, the K-Max one that we saw, we're using for inspiration. And so ultimately, I think it's pretty cool. I don't think I need these foundation or these things all the way around, but I'll kind of keep them there just for now. And if I need the budget later, I could probably change it up a little bit. But I kind of like how this came together. It's a nice little nook over here, so you can kind of look out. I'll probably have a little something here. We'll see. Maybe some crafting benches and stuff around here. My assumption is I'll probably do something over here as well. Maybe a little something with plants. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Okay, so then the building I think came together really well. And so I offset the roofs a little bit. You probably saw in the video to give a little overhang. Because if you remember from the K-Max one that we saw, there was a little bit of an overhang there as well, and I think it just adds a little bit of realism, I guess, for lack of a better word, to the whole build. And oh, you know what? I could probably drop that down just ever so slightly. Maybe I'll do that next time. I'll drop that down a little bit, and then have a little stairwell going into here as well. And so in here, what I want to do is probably have the in this corner, I will have the main broadcasting booth sort of thing. And then over here, I might have like the producer's room as well. And then this will be like a reception area and a little hangout space. But in here, because, you know, Julie has taken it over, it'll be kind of like her little living area sort of thing converted. So I'll kind of figure out what I want to do in here specifically, but that's kind of the idea. And so next episode, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to finish the exterior and kind of lay out what else I want to do, like if there's anything I want to do over here, potentially. I know in some of the audio she has a collectron, so I'll probably put a collectron out here somewhere. Like I said before, in I think last video, I might want to do like a garden or something out here for her, which I think would be kind of fun. And yeah, I think it's coming together really well. So I really hope you enjoyed this and you got some ideas, and hope you are looking forward to the next episode. So until next time, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.